Crusty punks. Yep, that's what we're going to be talking about tonight. Well, one in particular. Yeah, this guy kind of became infamous in Brisbane. A punk by the name of Milo Bubbles. He's a little Indian kid who, got into the whole punk scene. And he was wanting to get a lot of tattoos while he was doing it. Now, if you don't know what a crusty punk is, or a crust punk, you'll smell them before you see them. They live for crust. They don't shower, they like to be dirty. Oh, yeah, it's kind of gross. So he'd booked in for this tattoo, and it was just like a little skull grim reaper. I was like, cool, no problem, come on in. And I noticed when he came in, his hygiene was a little bit on the nose. And I didn't really, it wasn't too bad when he came in to book the appointment, so that was cool. But then the day of his appointment, which I think was about a week later, he came back in, and man, this guy did not have a shower in that entire week. I could smell him before he even walked into the studio. It was a smell personified. So he came in and it was like, wow, whew, gosh, okay. And again, I was fairly polite at this stage still, believe it or not. And we sat down, put the stencil on him and, leaned in and was like, oh man, this boy stinks. Like, he just really, really stinks bad. And I said to him, look, man, don't want to be rude or anything, but you smell really bad. And if I'm going to have to sit here for the next couple of hours tattooing you, I would appreciate it if you can just go home and have a shower. And he just looked at me and he's like, what? I'm like, a shower, it's a thing that most people do. And he looked over at my shelf where I had Speed Stick deodorant, and he went to reach for that, and he's like, oh, here, let me just use this. I'm like, dude, no way, no. That's not how it works around here. You got to have a shower before you come in and get a tattoo, man, and you can't use our deodorant. It's what we use for stencils, like, cripes. No, sorry. I didn't end up tattooing him that day. So, I was like, no, you can come back another time and get it done, but you need to have a shower before you come in and get a tattoo. Found out later on that Milo Bubbles became even worse as a crust punk. He thought it was the most punk thing you could do was not shower, shit yourself, and piss yourself. I'm glad he didn't do those before he came in to get the tattoo, because I would have thrown him out of the shop instantly. Ugh. So yes, once again, wash your stank. Don't come in and get tattooed if you're stinky. It's not nice. So there you go, another tale from the Tattoo Crypt. Hope you really enjoyed this one. And if you did and you want to see more, all you got to do is like, subscribe, and hit the little bell to get notified of new tales coming out every week. See you next time on Tales from the Tattoo Crypt.